Dun, 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 dun.
Star Wars Galaxies never stops, 24/7.
Every time you log in, there's something different happening.
It's changing, it's evolving.
There's always a new quest, there's always a new mission.
I'm able to do anything I want in the galaxy and meet anyone I want.
Chewbacca,
Darth Vader,
Yoda,
Boba Fett.
Who hasn't wanted to be on the ship with Han Solo?
they're all in this game.
Doesn't matter where I am in the world or what time it is.
Log on whenever you want to.
You always have something to do with somebody.
24 hours, this thing is non-stop.
Star Wars Galaxies, rated T for teen.
We're live. Welcome back or welcome front if it's the first time joining us. I am Joshua with Weird Gaming Adventure, and with us together is Gospel on the Weird Gaming Gospel Pod.
How's it going? How's it going,
How
guys?
are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh, you know it. Another day, another $50, bringing home the bacon bits in Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah.
I tell you what. Still playing a ton of R3. I'm still broke, bro.
Yeah.
How about you? You making a few bucks?
I'm scraping by. I just spent like $600K on food yesterday, so.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it for both of your tunes or
Just one.
oh, just one? Okay, so
Yeah.
tell us which tune it is, what his profession is, and what food that you got for that profession and why.
So I'm actually gonna make a guide on this, and
Plugged.
yeah, I'm gonna make a guide on this for the YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Important foods you should probably have. So the foods I'm using, so the character I bought it on is Monarch, and he's a bounty hunter, carbineer with the first line of combat medic, and the foods I got were synth steak, which reduces damage you take for like 30 plus seconds. And it's like 42% damage reduction, and I think like 39 seconds. So it's really useful when you're in a jam. I bought Crispic. He's ranged, so you don't really need to use like nutrient-filled foods. You can just use like duration, because Crispic, when you experiment on it, it only goes up in melee accuracy, whereas I kept this for ranged accuracy, which stays constant no matter what experimenting you do. And then I also picked up Ruby Bleal, which resets time, the cooldown time on stims. I picked up Piccata Pie, which gives you just straight up defense. Like, it says dodge on it, but if you actually use it, it's just defense. So it's like 51 plus defense or something like that, which is really, really nice. And it's like 17 minutes long, only like 28 fill or something like that. And as server resources get better, all this food will get better. I ordered Deuterium Pyro, which is a big, big ranged accuracy boost, like plus 200. And that's a massive damage boost for any ranged character. And then I ordered, what else did I order? I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's...
So who'd you buy from?
El Chandru Pika Thundercloud. I also ordered that because it's 97... Yeah, it's 97 range defense, and that's huge against other range players, which right now everyone that's dangerous in PvP right now is ranged. So stacking range defense is a really, really good idea if you plan on PvPing. So I also bought that. And then what was your question?
Oh, okay. So I was wondering who you bought from. You said you made an order.
Yeah, it's a guy named Ruin, Rhuin, and he's like made the best foods I've seen on the server so far. So I ordered from him, and took him like a day. I asked him for a crate of 25 of everything. So took him like a day, but he got the order done. Obviously all that stuff is time consuming, but yeah, he had no problems taking orders. It was really good.
He had his factories running for you for 600K. That's not too shabby. You said for now, server best. That's kind of funny. We have a weaponsmith who is incredible in our guild. I can't remember what his in-game name is that he uses for his weaponsmith. I'll have to find that out. But he's making server best weapons, and I'm not saying he's bragging about it, but he tells it, hey, server best, here we go. Like, well, what exactly is server best right now? Like, server best today might not be server best tomorrow, but
Yeah.
I mean, tomorrow you're gonna just keep up in your game.
That's one thing that I really like about SWG throughout all its iterations is the resource system, you know? Server best now might not be server best in like 6 months, you know?
No,
It's kind of cool.
unless you have one of those deeds that you get for the for being on every single veteran rewards, where you had like a crate of good food that'll last you quite a bit.
Yep.
And actually, on that note, we don't get that in Restoration 3. One thing that was really cool about the last episode or 2 episodes ago that we did with Halo is mention all those veteran rewards. They are something content.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
I absolutely love. In fact, I just did a video speaking of that little clip that he had.
I saw it.
I was not aware that was a really a thing at the time until he said this. So that kind of blew my mind, and I love that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly something that I can understand why, like Legends and and NGE in general. That's the way it was in game. You go right in and then boom. Okay, hey, you want this familiar? Yes, no, maybe. Well, yes. The answer is yes, not no or maybe so. Legends though. So you have a level 9. Let's talk Legends for a little bit. We're always talking about R3 because we're on record as saying that is our favorite time frame in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Legends, however, when it comes down to the emulators, is my first love.
Mm-hmm.
Was and is my first love. Now Restoration 3, I liken it to, okay, it's like a new girlfriend that you have. It's fun and it's exciting. It's starting of a brand new chapter, and it's the hot girlfriend that you're just starting. And I will forever be a Restoration 3 guy. But I got to tell you stories about Legends that, guys, I'm not turning my back on Legends. Love the game. The thing I think I like the most, and this is going to sound like an advertisement or something, but I want people to understand that, like, and this is my thoughts, we don't have to just play Restoration. We don't have to just play Basilisk, or we don't have to play Legends. Play them all. Find out what you like, and play that. I still go back and play some Basilisk every so often, just to keep my characters from blowing up. I play Legends periodically, but right now I'm hanging out with my new girl, like Restoration 3.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm asking that because people are asking why I don't make Legends content anymore. It certainly has nothing to do with the server itself. Devs are great. Game is great, and I can trust them to keep pounding out good content going forward. It's just there's nothing else to talk about. All of the there's all sorts of content creators that are still playing the game religiously, putting out content left and right, and I'm not trying to step on their shoes. I like R3. I don't have to step on anyone's shoes. It's Gospel and I, and we have a synergy, I guess. And so, yeah. I wanted to really say this. Go play Legends if you like to play Legends. Don't pick sides. To pick sides. So
it's not a it's not a what's that term they say?
Exclusive?
Yeah, it's not exclusive, but it's also not a zero-sum game, I guess, right? Like you can play both. Yeah. You can play both and it's all right. Like I've played Basilisk and other games at the same time, and that was pretty all right.
Yeah. Well, I went a little deeper in that than I wanted to, but I figured it was a good way to talk, a little bit more about Star Wars Galaxies. And, you and I were talking, okay, so this is going to be an E3 style show.
Mm-hmm.
But Disney came out and they said that they are open to third-party developers, outside developers, having rights to their old chapters, their old IPs. That includes me being an adventure game guy, the Monkey Islands, the Salmon Maxes that, you pay to play. You're going to have to get your foot in the door. To a lesser extent, there's some, that could, to a lesser extent, mean some Star Wars Galaxies. What did you tell me though? Like when
oh
we
my god! When
this?
Weird told me about this, I was like, "What if SWG Emu bought the rights to Star Wars Galaxies, and then shut down all the other emulators?" That was my thought on that, and I was just like, "No. That I hope that never happens because then we're stuck with pre-UCU forever."
It seemed like something they would do, dude.
Dude, I mean, if they had the rights, why wouldn't they? I don't know. Like maybe they would work something out with like the Legends developers and maybe Resto developers or something. I don't know.
What I said was, hey, I'm all for it if you could get one server. But you know what I'm gonna do though? I'm gonna be the one that's going to buy out the rights, and then I'll choose the server. If everyone wants to play. Heck, obviously, I'm never gonna have enough money to put my foot in that door.
Yeah,
but man, 2K. If you could get 2K subs
at $5 a month, it's not bad.
At $5 a month, you know what I mean? And then we could actually pay for the developers to continue to bring out content and stuff. Like, honestly, each team. I'm sure there's differences in there, but they all have things that they're good at.
Mm-hmm.
If you can put them all together, put them in a room, keep Restoration 3 because that's my favorite incarnation of the game. But keep building from there. All right, guys, we're taking a poll, or not a poll. Like we're gonna pass the hat around and take some cash. Let's put together a server. We're gonna own this.
Yeah. Amp says, yeah, that would be smart of them. Secure the right of the game and give more people reason not to play their shitty server. Damn. RCA, people would just base their server in Russia and give them the finger. Yeah. That's what happens with some games, right? Their servers ended up being like in some Eastern European country and yeah, and like there's like WoW private servers that do that basically.
Oh man, but it's Russia, so how many of them still have fingers?
Good point.
Oh, yeah, I guess they used to, like back in the day. You're probably aware of this. Like they used to just cut off the fingers, like pre wall falling down.
Yeah,
you're gonna tag a wall, lose a finger.
Exactly.
All right. So what else? So E3 came out.
Mm-hmm.
Went out.
What
do you think?
The E3? Okay, so I have a big gripe with E3, like massive gripe. I was pretty thoroughly disappointed with it. The only thing I really liked was the Nintendo showcase, which actually just before we decided to do the stream, I found a tweet from a account called Stream Hatchet. And they logged how many views each presentation got at E3, and Nintendo won at 3.1 million concurrent viewers, whereas Xbox got 2.3 million, Ubisoft got 1.4 million, Square Enix at 1.3 million, Devolver at 1.1 million, which, in my personal opinion, I don't like the Devolver presentations. I like their games, but their presentations are weird for the sake of being weird and don't really make a point. So I feel like no wonder they did not perform as well. But my major gripe is with the games themselves. I feel like maybe it's just now that I'm like turning 30 and we've hit this like weird part of gaming where the technology, maybe it's not even the technology, but nothing really new or weird is coming out, nothing experimental is happening. And so I just feel like we're getting the same genres with the same maybe kind of combat or ideas, or now there's like this emphasis on stylized graphics, which is pretty and it's cool and it can be like relaxing, some of those games and stuff, but a lot of these games that come out are just like the same thing that we've played already, slightly modified. And that's fine if people want to make games like that, but I am not at all excited for most of those games. The only one there was one game outside Nintendo that I thought was really cool, and that was the Halo Infinite multiplayer showcase that they did. And the only reason I liked it is because for some reason, even though it's totally not one, the way they had things kind of set up is it reminded me of like one of those old school arena shooters, like Quake. And that is like a genre that's died, basically. It's like a dead genre, of game, those arena shooters. However, obviously Halo is much different from an arena shooter in that they have like vehicles, and some of the stuff that they do is just vastly different. But yeah, so that was the one game outside of the initial E3 presentation. But then like the Nintendo stuff I am excited for, because it feels like Nintendo is the only one really experimenting with their games. Like, have you seen the new Mario Golf game?
Okay, so maybe they're experimenting with their games.
Mm-hmm.
However, there's nothing new, and there hasn't been anything really new since 1994. You could put a new, different pair of lipstick on an older chick and make her look a little bit different or something, but it's still an old chick. And that's kind of my gripe with Nintendo. They're always getting more entertaining and more fun, but there's nothing that has, broken ground and started from the ground up. I would love to see just a new IP that's pretty like a Nintendo exclusive style of IP that is hit.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's really smart with their marketing.
They are.
They go with what will sell.
They
but eventually
kind of
that's
do.
Going to change with us getting older who grew up playing Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think it's got to change?
Well, some of the things that are new, I like the Mario Golf game seems like an interesting mix of things, because you have this golf game that's also kind of a sort of like a pseudo racing game at the same time. And that seems like way more interesting than just a regular golf game or a regular racing game, where you're trying to hit the ball in and then race the ball and like trip up other players and stuff like that.
So it's like Mario Kart versus Wii Sports.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And I was like, that's an interesting mix. Like, that no one's ever done that before. And then some of the other stuff they did that wasn't at the C3, but they did like the Mario 99 thing, where it was like a battle royale for Mario. Did you see that? That was last year.
No, in fact, I'll be honest, to the point that we're making. I'm sorry if I seem preoccupied. Like, my light here is driving me insane. I don't really follow any Nintendo news.
Okay.
Unless it has something to do with and I'm not saying I don't like Nintendo games, but I know what I'm gonna get out of a Nintendo game. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna amuse me for 2 weeks, and I'm done. Except for Smash Brothers. I'll follow Smash Brothers. I'll follow Mario Kart.
Are you a huge Smash Brothers fan?
Oh God, yes.
Dude, I'm a huge Smash Brothers fan. Okay. That's all the reason I woke up. I woke up early so I could watch the presentation and watch Smash Brothers. I was like, I got to see who the new character is. That's what I have to.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Kazuya.
And what'd you learn?
It was Kazuya from Tekken, and I was actually happy to see a Tekken rep. I wanted a Tekken rep, but
At what point you gotta get something real Nintendo IP in there? Not something that's taken from like Capcom and all those things back. I'm glad they're going true to Nintendo again.
Yeah.
Oh wait, the Tekken.
Yeah, Tekken. That's Bandai Namco. Yeah.
Don't like Tekken.
True.
I'm a hater.
But I guess they kind of earned it, the Tekken spot, the representation, if they're going to represent other companies, because I think Bandai Namco is actually the company that develops Smash Ultimate.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. is that a new thing, or is it just like a third party that they are?
Like they have like a contract with Nintendo, and I think they make the actual Smash Ultimate game. Yeah, but it's like under Nintendo's name and everything, from my understanding.
Dude, nothing beats Smash 2.
Melee.
It's that nothing beats Smash 2 Melee.
Yeah, Melee's
nothing-
pretty intense.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, let's go along with the Nintendo theme. Okay, so did you see the announcements, or not the announcements, but the new trailers for the new Metroid game?
Yeah, the Dread, Metroid Dread. That looked cool.
What do you think?
I thought it looked cool. It looked interesting. I'm not huge on Metroidvanias. I mean, I am, but I'm also not at the same time, in that I've never really played Castlevania, and I barely played any of the Metroid games. But I played other Metroidvanias that are in that other games in that genre, I should say. So it looks cool. I'm not sure I'll pick it up or not. I was planning on picking up Metroid Prime 4 when that releases, but it looked really interesting style wise, and it gave off a totally different vibe than normal Metroid. Normal Metroid, you know, I have played some of the Metroid games, and they are often kind of like devoid of life, and you feel like really alien and that you're all alone. Whereas in this one, even though she is alone, it wasn't like devoid of life. It felt much more alive somehow.
I think you used the correct word. It feels very, very alien, because A, if you are alienated, and B, you are fighting aliens.
Yeah,
and that is quite literally the theme of the game. That's why I love it for like 2 weeks. And they don't really, not since like the early Metroid style games, did they have a lot of replay value, because those were more arcade in the truest sense of arcade. That's just my personal opinion. Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
Yay, nay.
It's so I actually own the first Breath of the Wild, but I never beat it. I pick up games and I lose interest, and I go back and I play them. So I'm probably gonna force myself to play the first Breath of the Wild and beat it, so I can understand Breath of the Wild too, because I am a huge Legend of Zelda fan. I played Ocarina of Time. I played Majora's Mask. I beat Twilight Princess. I didn't get to play what is it? Wind Waker. I haven't played Wind Waker, and I haven't played Skyward Sword.
I'll say, in my opinion, always, of course, I think I speak for myself when I say that that's one of the games that the more open it gets, the less I'm interested.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like truly. I can't really give you a reason for it. I guess like my nostalgia just doesn't allow me to accept it. You know, I want more of. I just always go back to the old style, you know. And so, let me ask you. Okay, so we know that there's an Avatar 2 movie coming out next year. And now we have.
Oh, I missed that
the Avatar
announcement.
game.
Oh,
So that's an old announcement. Now there's a game though.
Oh.
Did you see the Frontiers of Pandora game?
Is that the Avatar game?
Oh yeah, it's a true AAA game, and from a Massive Entertainment. Hated the movie. Hated the idea of the movie. I mean, I hated when they first came out with the movie Fern Gully, and I don't like the idea of this game either. Just but people are going crazy for it. That's considered like the best of show.
Really?
So-
That's weird. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about an Avatar game. Now, if it was Avatar The Last Airbender, we'd be talking about a different story, but this one is like blue people that mate with their hair.
Oh, I see. Avatar: The Last Air. Okay, so the anime.
Yeah.
One. Now I got it. Now different Avatar that mate with their hair, and their hair. What they also mate with, interacts with their flying creatures. Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Where's those tentacles been, buddy? Elden Ring.
Elden
Thoughts?
Ring. Oh, 100% looking forward to it. That's my number one. I think most looking forward to game because
Well, we're Dark Souls guys, and so if you want fun, playable games, go play Dark Souls games. And so obviously, Elden Ring. If you want a very stylistic, should be fun. I'm super excited about that.
you remember like back in the day, like games were like super hard, like in the early 90s, and like you had to like really try super hard. Or did you play video games back then? Or
Oh, of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they were just difficult as can be, and that's like Dark Souls in the modern age. I feel like it's just you learn. It doesn't feel unfair. You just have to be patient, and you just can't rush through things. I feel like in a lot of games, the health bar is like a mistake bar. You just get to make mistakes and just run through. Whereas,
You run and hide for a little bit, let your health bar regen. Yeah.
yeah, and in Dark Souls, the health bars is like very little room for mistake bar. So it's fun, and so that's why I'm looking forward to Elden Ring. It looks like a combination of everything.
Yeah, back in the day, I used to. I mean, we're talking early 90s when I was a little boy. I was huge into space simulators. I love the Wing Commander games, man. And I was speaking with my buddy Lavaris about this, and until I learned something called God Mode, they were so fun until I learned God Mode, and then I could never play the games again because couldn't play them without God Mode. And now every game is God Mode. You run, you get hit twice, you go and hide. They don't come after you. They don't follow you. The mobs and the spawns. You just regen and then run back out into the fight. I like that. I like how you equated that to the modern games. And it is difficult. It's no Diablo.
Yeah.
Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. What you think?
I saw a little bit of gameplay. It didn't look. This is what I guess what I'm talking about with. And I guess it's fair for Halo too. Like fair criticism for Halo, even though I like Halo. It just feels like there's nothing new there for me. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I've seen this game somewhere else before. The gameplay, at least.
Well, we've seen every gameplay before.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think it looks fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Guardian of the Galaxy's fan. However, I saw their last Avengers game, and if it has anything remotely close to what they did with that game, I'm out before it starts.
Oh yeah, I ended up buying that Avengers game. It seemed cool at first, and then you start playing it, and you're like, oh.
I hope you were able to go back to GameStop and get credit.
No, I bought it on Steam, dude. It was no refunds after 2 hours. So that one was very unfortunate. I know some people, speaking of Marvel, was looking forward to. I don't know if you heard, but the Marvel versus Capcom games. Those, I guess Disney decided they don't want more Marvel versus Capcom. They want Marvel versus DC, and they're having NetherRealm Studios make it, which is the people who make Mortal Kombat and the other DC fighting game. I forget what it's called. Injustice, I think.
I'm not okay with that. You can't take away my Marvel versus Capcom. I mean, how else did I get girls when I was 16 years old at the arcade?
Did that actually work?
I think we talked about this.
I think we might have. Yeah.
I thought it worked at the time. It felt pretty good. Just how when you're ready to engage, you have to push the buttons as fast as you can, to get as much hit combos. Oh yeah, it's like flexing while doing that, looking over my shoulder. But yeah, you take Street Fighter out of there, and I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
There's a lot of people that sentiment is very widespread. A lot of people don't like the fighting game community. A lot of people don't like Mortal Kombat for some reason. So they're afraid
It's
that
too blocky.
it's kind of weird, right? It just doesn't feel right.
So, Maya Morning XO. Come on, man. Can we just call you Morning or Maya? We're going to call you Maya. Okay. All right. So, Maya Morning XO, like the original Halo 1 on LAN. What was that we're referring to? Because I want to talk
We were
about Halo
talking
1
about-
for a second.
Yeah, we were talking about Halo Infinite, and I was talking about how it felt more like an arena shooter, which is what Halo 1 felt like.
Gotcha. Well, I loved Halo 1. We talk about my youth. That was my youth. How old were you when that came out? 10?
No,
like that.
10. Let's see. Halo 1 release
14,
date.
15, something like that.
It came out in 2001, November 15th. So I had to be 11 when Halo
Okay.
1 came out.
Yeah, that sounds about right because that was like in my later teens. Man, that was so much fun. Talk about LAN parties. Remember like real LAN parties before like the internet was a thing? Did you do that when you were a kiddo?
So I didn't have them initially when I was a kid. There was an arcade, not like an arcade, but like a gaming PC kind of, like a PC house or whatever. And they did have one of those. And I do remember getting with friends and playing Halo 2, like 16 player Halo 2, or maybe it was Halo 1. I don't remember. We did have that though. And we went over there and we paid whatever money and played Halo across like 4 different systems.
Oh man, that was so much fun. Being in a room with spilled Mountain Dew on the carpet, smelling like BO at your friend's house. We were all broke, so we would find anybody who was old enough to get us alcohol in the room. And there's always one dude that was throwing up in the closet or just was getting angry, shaking his monitor or something because he was getting capped. Oh man.
Quit
Halo
screen
1.
cheating!
Yeah, no kidding. Halo 1 was that was something that my buddy and I at the time, we could have 8 people because we had a network that could hold 8 people. We knew that we were going to be pissing everybody off in the room because I'd be driving, he'd be shooting, and we would never, ever, ever die in the history of everdom. Moderately sensational. But
Yeah,
I'd be going left, and he could feel it. He knew if I was going left, he'd swing the gun right. It was one of those things that was just so magical, and everybody in the room would be screaming, and we'd be laughing hysterically over everyone being upset, knowing that we were going to have to take some crap later on.
That's back the Halo 1. That's back when the Warthog was indestructible. Couldn't destroy it back then.
Oh, no kidding! Like you throw your grenades, and you could feel them. You could just feel those coming. You could flip them.
Yeah.
You could flip them if you placed it right. But yeah. So everybody in the chat here, I want you to tell me what your favorite LAN party game. Like, we're talking Unreal. Tell us. Let us know.
While that happens, I do have one story. This is a little vulgar, just a little bit. But this is back when I had transverse myelitis and I was in recovering. And so I couldn't play video games the best, but I was trying to get back into it. And Halo 3 was out. I was 18. And we were playing Halo 3, me and my buddy. His name is Michael. And he's been him and his whole family have been lifelong friends of mine. I call his parents aunt and uncle because that's how close we are. So me and Michael are just playing Halo Online. We're playing not Lone Wolves, but the dual mode or whatever we could do. Yeah. And his brother Aaron comes in, and his brother Aaron brings in a guy named Ben. And I didn't really know Ben, but I'm great friends with Aaron. So they're like, hey, why don't we have 2v2? And I'm literally a disabled person at this point. I'm not playing my best. And I have trouble getting out of chairs. I have trouble walking at this point. Like, I'm pretty disabled. So we play them, and we won 50 we were, it was like team death, 2v2, first to 50 kills wins. So we did that and we won 50-40. So it was kind of close. It wasn't like a total stomp or anything. Meanwhile, and we like came back from like the brink to bring it back. And Ben was the craziest shit talker I've ever met, and he was talking the most amount of trash. I think like it was like a Call of Duty lobby, but we're like, we're in person, so it's like it was pretty over the top.
Crap's going down.
Yeah, and he would like the whole match. I mean, the whole match he wouldn't shut up, and he was just saying all this stuff. So we're like, okay, they had to go because they were like jocks, right? They're like into basketball and stuff, and me and Michael are nerds, and so they're like, well, we got to go to basketball practice, but we want to rematch y'all tomorrow. So I was like, okay, cool. So I come over the next day, but this time I brought in a washcloth and a thing of floss, and and we play them, and the whole match, Ben is talking shit. Just the craziest shit talker I've ever seen. And we end up stomping them. You all right? Oh.
You're stomping them, man.
So we stomped them 50-20 this time. Like, it's not even close. And I had stayed silent the entire match because I was just focused on just beating the shit out of Ben because they had pissed me off the previous day. After I beat them, I stand up. I struggle to stand up. I pulled the washcloth out and my floss, and I throw it on Ben's lap, and I said, "Hey man, you might want to floss my pubes out of your teeth and get the ball sweat off your chin." And with that washcloth, and he got immediately pissed. He stands up and he like tries to take a swing at me, and I managed to get 1 foot off the ground and kick him back, and then like the other two guys got in front of him. He was so angry. He was this huge hothead, and so I was like, I fell to the ground just kicking him down, and then they pretty much made him leave the house for that period of time. And they were like, yeah, that was hilarious. But
you're like it was a premeditated please punch me in my Adam's apple. It was gonna happen. You knew you couldn't defend yourself.
Yeah,
but it was worth the gag.
Yeah. So I knew exactly what I was gonna say to him, and it pretty much started a fight, but it was okay. My friends jumped in and I didn't get my ass beat, thankfully.
And that's funny because that's why you were so into it too. Like, I'm going to beat these guys so bad because I got the best line.
Yeah, dude.
And that's right after you pretty much just skunked them too. And
yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. So let us move on a little bit. So, okay. E3 though, let's put a close to that. I don't think either of us was impressed. It's not the same right now with everything being viewed and streamed. You don't get the same presentation. It didn't seem like. First of all, I will say, opposite of what I was saying, right? They put a lot of attention into doing their announcements there was a lot of video production put into a lot of this stuff because they can like do it before. It's not just a guy on stage talking about a game. I mean, they always have production and stuff put into it, but it took away from a lot of the personal aspects. Like, you don't have a relationship with the developers, that type of a thing. You have a relationship with the fingers who are using their mouse to create the announcement for them. And so hopefully next year there'll be a little bit more excitement and a little bit more
it's entirely possible that this E3 wasn't the best because of the past year of COVID. I mean, I'm sure they spend a lot of time preparing this event, you know what I mean? So it could have been like COVID related reasons that they just didn't get, it wasn't the best E3 ever. Or it's kind of,
and a lot of these games have been pushed back so many times, so like years. That were supposed to be released in the end of 2020, and then they couldn't really build these games. What's left to talk about for some of these games? Psychonauts for example, it was supposed to be released supposed to be released in 2019, Psychonauts 2, then 2020 for sure, pushed back, 2021, pushed back because the crew is working from home and that type of thing, and all you could do is talk about the same thing so many times. So
Yeah.
and that's like across the board thing. So
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Like if you look at Capcom's presentation, Capcom literally announced 0 updates, 0 new news. Everything was just rehashed. I mean, we already knew about Resident Evil 8. We already knew about Monster Hunter, and we already knew about Street Fighter. Like it was things we already knew. I will say though that did you have anything that we were hoping that would get announced that didn't this E3?
Oh, I mean, well, frankly, I was hoping to get some game announcements, like, and being in the particularly the adventure game industry, there's nothing that's going to keep my adventuregamers.com plugged off of this E3. Mm-hmm. There's no new news, really. I mean, there's a couple games that had different aspects, but again, it's just like we saw these aspects in previous trailers. They're just explaining what some of those are.
Yeah.
Nothing I can go write a column off of and push. And so the answer to that is no.
Yeah.
And I hope this changes coming up at the end of next month for the GDC.
Yeah.
And I don't think it will, but
maybe. I there was one thing I wanted announced that did not get announced. So this year is the 20th anniversary of a specific Mega Man series called Mega Man Battle Network, and came out on the Game Boy Advance, and there's like 6 games in the series, 9 if you're counting the Star Force, which is in the same universe, and it was made for the DS. And it's the 20th anniversary. They made a collection of the Mega Man Zero series, and they released that on PC and Switch and all that other stuff. So I was hoping for like a Mega Man Battle Network series with some quality of life updates, just a re-release with some quality of life and online play. That's all I was really hoping for. They did not do that, and that was Capcom's job. It's been 20th anniversary. They did some weird stuff, like they uploaded the entire Mega Man Battle Network soundtrack onto Spotify just recently. So I'm thinking, oh, there's Mega Man news coming out, and nothing came out. So I was really disappointed in that. And yeah, E3 was soul crushing this year.
Which is silly because they preface and they plant those seeds like we always talk about on this show, how the developers can really build momentum for something. They give someone a sample, they put out their hand, and they gave them that fruit, and there was nothing to no meal to follow that, which is a real shame.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a few things that I've learned that wasn't really like E3 related. Actually, you sent me a message about.
Yeah, I was about to ask you. Speaking of newly released games or games that are in development or being announced, and I know you're into adventure games. I was wondering what your thoughts are on the Myst MMO.
Yeah. Well, and this is actually you couldn't find a better place to talk about this because we love MMOs, and I'm an adventure game guy as well. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I there's no excitement for it at all. I played the game when it came out, and it was terrible. So essentially what this is the game was supposed to be allowed to be essentially an MMO, essentially. But they never made it live. They never made it to where you can interact with it. And I don't know if anybody played Myst before in the past. It's essentially, I don't know how it would become a good MMO. Maybe it's like Siberia or one of those types of games that end up being all right. But anyways, it became like an emulator. They allowed it to come out in 2013. So people have been playing this since 2013, and I looked it up since then. There's essentially been at the most, and since 2013, 110 players online. But however, now the developers have gotten involved in trying to stimulate this game, and they have created a bunch of stuff for the game to try to create a buzz in it. And I to be honest, I don't see how it could be good. I mean, they created it in the first place, so
Yeah, it is.
2013.
How does how does a Myst MMO work? Like, how is that supposed to be? Like, I don't understand.
Well, okay, so that's what I was saying. If any, like, many of us have at least seen or heard of Myst. It was like the greatest selling game franchise in history for the longest time. It just came out and blew everyone's skirts up for a while. But it's essentially a collection of pictures. You never see someone's face. You know, and of course that changed as Riven came out, and natural progression of any game. And then it became a very much a third-person view. So it is your typical style of MMO, but not your typical style of interacting with other people. Your interactions, and this may change with the updates that the developers or the true developers are actually making for it. Your interaction comes from your notebooks, and those type of things. You can choose to you can't actually find a person out in the world. Essentially, you guys are all playing Myst side by side, and then you have to choose to actually be able to interact with each other. So it's so far from a true MMO, but it is an MMO style game. That's the best way of describing it. I mean, if you like Myst, you may enjoy it. But I don't.
That
like
reminds
Myst,
me.
it's not an MMO for me.
That reminds me of the way Dark Souls does multiplayer, where you can ride on the ground and someone can summon you, or you can find a thing on the ground and summon the player.
That's exactly right. Exactly what it is. Like almost verbatim of what it is, except you are using your magical notepad, if you will. It's not like a rune or something that you can write on the floor or conjure something up like in WoW. And so
Interesting.
and there's no questing together. I mean, you're just exploring, and that's it. And so
Wow. That
yeah, I hate to be a deal breaker, but when I got the news, or like he said, yeah, I'm actually doing some content for this right now, and I picked it up and started doing a whole lot of research on. I was so disappointed. I thought they were truly going to be converting it into like a true MMO. I mean, there's a reason why this never went live. It just had the base game, and they never actually made it to where you can interact with other people in the base game. So
that's really interesting.
Or not interesting at all.
I mean, it's interesting that they tried this idea. I mean, like, obviously they didn't go live. Like, I don't know what the thought process is. It's like, I don't think anyone ever, maybe I'm wrong about people who are into adventure games, but I don't think anyone ever that's like a huge adventure game fan was like, I wish Myst or Leisure Suit Larry or Sam and Max were MMOs. You know what I mean?
Well, now Leisure Suit Larry might be good. You just, it's like literally you could say, hey, let's go out to the club with your friend and go get laid. And we're going to help each other, feed each other lines to get laid. We're going to be a wingman. Now, I can kind of see that.
I call that
but
real
you're not
life.
Going out rock. Yeah, exactly. Like you got a wingman type of thing. But you're right. Of all games, Myst?
Yeah.
Myst.
Yeah.
What is Myst? Like, it's essentially a glorified media, like, shows you picture after picture after picture. It sucks, guys. And I am an adventure guy. It sucks.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Let's talk about a game that doesn't suck. Let's bring things back up here.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I'm level 80 now, guys.
Congratulations. How's it feel?
I'm not embarrassed anymore. It's pretty sad when I get people like trying to talk to me, and I'm trying to pretend like I'm I good at the game because I talk about the game a lot on video.
Hmm.
When you're like level 76 for a week.
I
It's not
saw
my
you
fault,
walking around when you weren't 80. I was like, oh, he's level 64 now. He's making progress.
Yeah, because that's what I do in game. I just like stand there and like work while I'm in game, and that's about as much as it's been. R3 came out at the worst possible time for me, like between like the adventure game website and between me being a fantasy football host. This is the time to where I have so much work. I have to do rankings, I have to do write-ups and stuff for all the sports. And I'm just literally trying to pretend like I'm working more than I am so my guild thinks that like, hey, I'm a real leader.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh yeah, guys, I'll be out there tonight. Let's get this together. And then I'm telling like my officers, hey, you guys want to run this thing for me? All right, yeah. I'll talk to you guys in Discord while you do it.
Yeah. We have a few of those people working from home, playing the game on the side kind of guys.
Yeah.
So it's cool though.
Well, I mean, like I'm trying. Next month will be so much easier, and I can't wait. So we got a bunch of great people in our guild. They're just like giving us out incredible weapons, like server best weapons, and Midnight. I don't know why I can't think of what his name is, and I'm sorry. I'll have to give him a shout out in the show notes. Look in the show notes, but they're pretty awesome. So I'm geared up though, and I didn't even have to go get my gear. So
nice.
There's that.
You got sponsored in SWG. How's it feel?
It's my own guild, so it's my own guild. So I hope they're trying to take care of each other. So
yeah.
How about you? Like, what have you been doing?
Well, I think I did have the city first. The first city on the server, pretty much confirmed that.
Yeah, we saw yours popping up.
Yeah.
Your thing. Ours is popping up. What's today? Thursday. It should be tomorrow. So on the map. So tier 3 tomorrow.
Yeah, we hit tier 3 Monday. We'll be we'll be tier 4 this upcoming Monday, and we'll be server first shuttle port.
Yeah.
So that'll be really cool.
This guy says, "Hey guys, I'm not gonna have a guild. Just gonna be me and my select buddies that we're gonna run around." Well, nope, server first, guys. Server first.
Well, I ended up recruiting a lot of players. There was some real guild drama that went on, but I'm okay with talking about it because I've talked about it on stream before. But basically, I've got some people that have been shady on other servers in the past, or I had people that had been shady on other servers in the past. And I said
they're in here right now, so
yeah, sure. And I said, listen, the thing is, I've been shady on other servers in the past, and I've admitted it publicly before, like on old Nova and Liberator. I did some not so legitimate gameplay on those servers, but I've since reformed, and I have played Basilisk totally legit, and not multi-accounting, playing by the rules, all this other stuff. Anyways, so I said, okay, listen, I'm not gonna, I had people approach me. I said, listen, you guys can play with us, but you cannot cheat. You cannot play legitimately. If you're gonna play, you gotta play by the rules.
Your name is tied to it.
My name is tied to it. I also, we've had resto devs in here before. I've had had resto devs come on stream when we're not, doing this podcast. I'm tied to the resto project. I've promoted it a lot. There's no way it's gonna not just look bad on me if I have cheaters in the guild. It's gonna look bad on the resto project in general. And I don't want rumors circulating that, Gospel and his group get, preferential treatment. Exactly. I don't like that. We get none of that. And I like the fact that we get none of that. I just want to play the game like everyone else. So these guys, week 1, have millions of credits.
Yeah.
With mission terminals disabled, and aren't really doing space. And turns out there was a dupe, and it got fixed. I won't say how to do it, but it got fixed. There was a dupe, and people were banned. Several people were banned, and three of my guys, not in my guild, only 3 in my guild were banned. And then we had one guy decide to take the word of the cheaters over the word of the admins, who can see everything that's going on. And so he got kicked. He's gone too. So it's like, oh, you were just testing it out, but you have millions of credits.
Were starting drama.
Yeah,
like, say that you're choosing the devs over them. I bet.
That's exactly what he was saying. And it's like, oh, the devs are ban happy and all this other stuff. When really, the devs are not ban happy. It just happens to be that there's rules set in place, and if you can't follow the rules, you get banned. Just
you got to keep something. If something's good, you got to keep it looking good.
Yeah.
And look at it's their sandbox, and we're building castles in it. And so
yeah, just got to make sure your castles aren't duped. Made of dupe stone, so
that is the exact my exact reasoning. So look, it's not like we're a small guild, we're the 4th largest guild on the server, but we are my thing, I'm never going to send out an invite to someone that we see in game. Never. I'll say something on my YouTube channels, like on the stream. If someone likes my video, or someone likes your video and they want to join our guild, I think that they're going to get along with us. I think that they're going to kind of follow, they understand the game that we're playing here.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is very much my theory when it comes to this. I want something to last, and I feel like you're the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You have some incredible players, as do we. I am very much wanting people in our guild that are going to be diplomatic with each other, care about it. We are far from a hardcore guild. Far from hardcore. We have maybe 10 or 15 that are hardcore. And that's great. If you have a sect of hardcore, and if they want to do their thing, and if you want to help others get to that hardcore place, we've got a bunch of role players. We've got people like myself who's hardcore when I'm in game. However, I get on for maybe 15 minutes one day, and then an hour and a half another. That type of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is something that will help both of our guilds. We are willing to be flexible, and knowing that, like it or not, like there is a face to restoration.
Yeah.
And so in doing so, there's something that we can't just go out and just pick up every, I don't want to say bad seed.
Yeah.
But bad seed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm a pretty hardcore player, but I'm like, my life allows me to be hardcore. If I had other priorities I needed to take care of, obviously I'd go do those. But we have like a guy who was playing hardcore in the beta with us, and now he's actually retired early because he made really, really good business decisions. Yep. So he got to retire real early, but
in the real game,
in real life.
Yeah.
But he's not gotten to play with us as much on live because he's got a kid on the way now. So he's busy, taking care of his family and stuff. So he hasn't been as hardcore, but I don't have like, you got to play X amount of hours a week and do this and this. If I lack active players, I recruit more, and I have done quite a bit of that actually. My guild is actually much bigger than I thought it would be.
Yeah. No, I've been thoroughly impressed with just the types of players that you have. Like, I'll give a shout out to your guild straight up. Like, you have the best of the best, like in your guild. Like, straight up, you have the best of the best. I'm not gonna go to have a guild war with your guild. Let's just say that will never happen.
I don't know if we have the best of the best, but we have some players that are some pretty slam dunks, I would say.
I mean, ratio based.
Yeah.
Like I ratio based, like your guild is absolutely fantastic, and I believe that that ours is as well. We'll see once we get into PvP. We've got maybe 10 that PvP, quite a bit right now, and I'm there now. You ready to go? Like
Is
I'm ready to go.
is your guild all rebel, or is it mostly like got some Imperials, or?
No, it's Rebel and Imperial, and so we basically everybody has 1 and 1. It seems like, and so, but I'm that kind of a guy. I want to play both, and so
Gotcha.
if someone kills me and I don't want, I'll go hunt them on my other tune, or
Yeah.
vice versa. You know what I mean? And so
Just there's this function in game. You can go talk to the recruiter, and you can play as a mercenary for the other side. Yeah, I didn't know
so?
that. Huh?
Is that so?
Yeah, if you're a neutral player, you can go like overt rebel or special forces rebel, or you can go special forces imperial.
Really?
Yes.
You want to know something that I just learned?
What's that?
Never, ever, ever knew this, and I've been playing since day 1 in launch. If you go at Jabba's palace, you walk around the side, you could take that flight over to the starport.
Yes.
Boom! My mind was absolutely blown. I was following around someone in my guild. I was helping him run through Jabba's, and he's like going. I'm like, where's this guy going? I was getting frustrated, like, and then he just disappears. I'm like, what? I click it on the thing, like, mother. This is a thing.
Yeah.
Did you know that the whole time?
Yeah. Yeah, I used it quite a bit.
Because you're hardcore.
Yeah, I knew about that, and yeah, I use a lot of that because the thing is when you start doing those neutral pilot missions, they send you to Jabba's theme park. So
never done a neutral pilot mission like over there. Never.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. RCA, our guy, where you been? You haven't been in here the whole time. We know you haven't. Now
he was talking earlier. People would just base their server in Russia and give him the finger. He was that comment.
Oh, that's right. You know what? I don't see it until he gives the that little emoji that he always puts in there.
The lol emoji? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what do you think? What did you think about this episode, Gospel?
I think it's pretty good. Talking about E3 is fun. I like talking about gaming a lot. Like a lot. So this podcast is one of the highlights of my week, actually. Because
mine too. I will say this though. I didn't like our E3 segment.
No, I think that's because E3 kind of sucked.
If we were more passionate about a game announcement, but like quite frankly, like we had to talk about E3. We had to drop that up, and 20 minutes of there's nothing to talk about. But
yeah,
you know what? More of us, less of them is always good. Like us being us, less of the game. That's what it's all about. And if someone says otherwise, I'll tell them that they're an idiot.
Yeah, the sun revolves around us, and the games are part of the sun.
It's true. It's true. That's why Sunrunner was a thing, right? Is that what?
Sunrunner, the server?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't play on that server. I played on the best server with the best people.
Yeah, Loca.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, Loca was the best.
Okay, so let's talk. Okay, we'll wrap this up real quick. So I just want to say one thing. Gospel, you're streaming every night, it seems. Have you taken a day off of streaming since R3 started?
Yeah, I have. I've taken a few days off, actually. Whenever it was first going, I was just like, I did a 24-hour stream, and then I followed it up with a 17-hour stream without realizing it.
Yeah, because that happens when you're living life in reverie.
Yeah, I was just like, this is awesome. I'm having so much fun. But yeah, no, I've taken a break. Been focusing on a lot of research recently for the server. There's some issues that came up in PvP where rifles are absolutely insane. And it turns out the speed equation, like for the global cooldowns, like when you use an ability before you can use another ability.
The math is wrong?
I'm not sure if it's the math or what it is. It's very hard to find how speed worked based off the data from 2005 because it isn't necessarily all in the files or coded in the server, but I've been doing a lot of research to figure out how damage was supposed to work and how speed is supposed to work from 2005, because there is a balance issue right now. And I was streaming a couple days ago, and you can see like a rifleman kills me in literally 2 seconds, and that is like a huge issue.
What did you say when that happened? What was the words that came out of your mouth?
The first time it happened to me was the F-bomb.
The second thing was 50,000 credit.
Yeah, I actually placed the first time it happened to me, I died. I placed a bounty on him. I grabbed his bounty. I died again, and I cloned. I came back, and I got the mission again, and I killed him the third time's a charm.
You paid yourself.
Yeah,
you paid yourself.
It's just so incredibly not the combat upgrade. That sort of time to kill and that damage was just like over the top. So I've been working with Halo and doing research and writing him feedback on the changes he makes. He brought up the test center, which is the old beta server. So now if players are interested in testing, hit me up in Discord, or you can join my Discord below. I've got a whole channel dedicated to telling you how to join the Resto Discord, or the test server for Restoration 3 in my Discord. I don't know how else to get that information out there. I did it live on stream a couple nights ago, or last night or something. So if there's people who want to test out there, it's publicly available for people. The devs haven't announced it initially to like streamline the process, but there is a way, and Halo has told me to get as many people as I can to come test changes he makes. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah,
and I'm glad that you did that. You mentioned that the other day, and it wasn't until just recently that I'd seen it in action. So now I can understand where you're coming from, and so yeah. But yeah, your streaming is prolific. I can't keep up with them, man. Like, you're going live all the time on my phone, and and it's really good stuff. And you're putting out a bunch of YouTube stuff as well. I love the PvP like stuff that you put out. We need some more of that. That's my favorite thing to search for on Star Wars Galaxies when searching YouTube. And so, and keep it up, man. Your Twitch is blowing up. You know what? I'm gonna say it's me.
Yeah, I actually noticed that I've been watching your videos. I've been watching your videos, and you mentioned me in your videos, and I'm like, man, I need to make a video talking about, like, you know, the fact that we have this podcast on Thursday night. So I need to do that.
Dude, I'm totally screwing with you. It's totally like, since we've been partnered up, it's the common denominator is R3 going live. But I'm gonna take credit for that. So yeah, and you know what? I love the interaction that we get on the YouTube when I put these shows on there. I'm shocked that, you know, look at 300 people. If you get 300 people that view this show on it, and over 50% make it halfway through a stinking an hour and 20-minute show. That is some real Star Wars Galaxies game players. And I know most of them is Star Wars Galaxies, but I can speak for both of us when I say how grateful that we are for the support. Look, I don't think any of us would do anything if people didn't like it, or if they didn't watch it, because whatever our motivations are, whether it's art or, you know, just having fun, we still want people to see our art, and we thank you. I don't think people say it enough. A lot of content creators think it's hey, I'm doing this, they're watching because of me. No, we are grateful because of you guys, and so
yeah.
What do you think about that, Gospel?
I totally agree. I definitely appreciate everyone who comes in and views the stream, giving YouTube views. The other thing, you know, it's almost like a symbiotic relationship between us and Resto 3, because we promote Resto 3, and Resto 3 in turn promotes us in a way. I mean, we do get ads in the Discord sometimes, but when people are looking for Resto 3 information, who are they finding? They're finding me. They're finding Weird Gaming Adventure, and it helps grow the community. And
Tell
that's
you who they're not finding, Captain Katarn.
yeah, Tim Katarn. He's actually still playing, by the way. I know his character name, and I spit on him.
That's what I understand. Yeah, I understand that.
I couldn't help myself. I saw him in game and I just spit, and then I didn't say anything else. He actually saw it. He was doing his own thing, and then he just came up to my character and like stared at me and didn't say a word. It was super. We had a stare down in SWG, the sandbox. Like
That's roleplay.
It was some serious stare down roleplay, but yeah, it was hilarious.
You know what's the thing in your guild? So whenever your guild runs by and sees me, it's a spit and then a hug. Like,
is it really?
Every time it's a spit and then a hug. Like, oh. It's like that's a real dude right there.
That's just our casual greeting. You should see our real life meetups.
That's the thing. That's kind of like the spit on your hand, high five type thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
On that note, everybody, we're gonna spit on our hands. We're gonna give each other and give all of you a high five. What do you say, Gospel? We out of here?
Yeah, we're out of here. Thanks for stopping by, guys. We appreciate y'all hanging out. And we shall catch you next time. I'm actually going to stream here in a little bit. So I'm going to end this stream and then start it up in like 10-20 minutes. So goodbye, everyone.